22. Grace. The subtitle of this gate speaks about the correct behavior in mundane and tribal circumstances. Now, in most gates, I tend to take the angle of the not-self because it is the one that is just most common to see in those who carry the gate. Gate 22, grace, I mean, it's grace or disgrace or no grace, It's a channel of, social openness or not, social empowerment through unique style or an anti-social display of emotions, of your passions, of your drives, of your impulses, of the unawareness of acting spontaneously in the now without any emotional clarity behind. But in Gate 22, I'd like to take the true self perspective, because I remember, I was doing for years my emotional Fridays, and I remember in one of them, that I spoke of myself as a graceless creature, jokingly. And at the same time, you know how jokes are, they always carry some truth. Because I don't have Gate 22, I'm the manifester of the 36, 35, and yet I know grace. It's the grace of being correct. Being correct as a passenger and, not having to struggle to have to win, not being afraid of losing, just not being driven by those forces. And, the subtle pleasure of being correct. It doesn't, it's not like you're correct and there is this, otherworldly experience. It's being correct on the mundane plane, being correct in the way you deal with the girl in the supermarket, being correct in the way you deal with the people you meet when you go and buy the bread. It's being correct, in every breath. It's breathing correctly, basically, as an emotional being particularly. It's the grace of living life as a cup that is essentially half full and half empty. I was speaking about the mysticism of pain, This is the empowerment of knowing by, not being afraid of pain and not being afraid of sadness, not being dependent on happiness, understanding that, you see, when you look at Gate 22's polarity, oppression, you know what the grace is all about. Our cups can get constantly filled and emptied, and it's nothing but the fluctuation of moods. In the end, everything boils down to the same. We came with empty hands. We will go with empty hands. And what happens in between is just this incredible movie. It's just dramatic. And it's funny. Everything that is dramatic is funny. And everything that is funny is sad. Is sad if you really think it over. There is always, you always find a reason as why what is funny is dramatic. And why what is dramatic is incredibly funny. I mean, I know I am an emotional being. And I see, the most beautiful elements of my humanity emerge as my cup fills up. Oh, and do I see the beast, empower the shadow when my mood is down and my cup seems to be emptying out rather than filling. Well, what to do? This is the nature of things. Breathing through it with grace. This is its potential. Breathing and not knowing until you know. Breathing is really, well, the best thing that happens to us.